All right, everybody. Episode 67. Let's do this. Yeehaw! Come on in. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Come on in. Oh, we got a good one tonight. Yes. And vinyl, go. Wow, what's up, everybody? Episode 67. This is Evening Hour. My name is Cardone, and I think I got a really cool show for you tonight. Something I've been buzzing about, and I see and hear the comments already are on it. So, we'll get to that in a second. Come on in, everybody. I see Tal and Chris. My mama's in the house. Peter, Libra Liz, Lilith Malone, Amanda, Helen, Chris, Corey, everybody. Come on. William, come on in. We got a party. All right, so normally I drink this, right? Because I think, Helen, you're the one that sent this. I'm getting a little blurry. I love this cup. But tonight, I'm drinking tea. And I'm doing it out of this mug right here. This mug means a lot to me. I bought this mug in 2001 in Romania. And I bought it at the fake Dracula castle. So when you go to Romania, they tell you, you know, if you watch my episode 2 of Behind the Devil's Curtain, I talk about it. I went to get dirt from Castle Dracula, the real one. And they always send you to Castle Bran, which is the pretty one that you see in TV. And it's not the one that Dracula lived in. But the thing that's cool is right beside it, there's a Dracula market that sells tchotchkes. And I think this mug was like 50 cents. I'm not kidding you. Yeah, I wish I bought more. I mean, the things were so cheap. I would give the people like $5 and be like, keep the change. Like, all good. So, June 2nd, which is coming up, I'm going to be on the Hey Poopy podcast. I already recorded it. It was a blast. I would love to do another one. I am very excited to do it again. Yes, it's a podcast about poop. But I gotta be honest, it's kind of amazing because they talk about stuff most people don't talk about. Yeah. What's up, Chris? Yeah. Well, busy's good. So my schedule, I've been getting double busy. Because right now, I'm still working online. Today, I did a graduation party. Like, not that long ago. And so I have that. I have about 16 graduation events booked online for next month. But I'm also starting to get in my regulars. So, for whatever that means, I'm still getting those jobs. I mean, I'm getting the regular work back. So I have both. And I hope it keeps rolling, and I think it will. I've been doing family reunions where one guy's in India, another dude's in Australia, grandma's in England. And the only way to do it's on Zoom. So that's still rolling. Yes, it is. Well, that's Amanda, yes, says, you know it's good to talk about those things, even if it makes us uncomfortable. And I think you're referring to pooping. Yes. It's a funny subject. And dude, the podcast is really about that. It's kind of funny. So that's on June 2nd. Also, if you are interested, I know a lot of people are mentioning they want to come see my show at Wits End. It's starting to get out of control busy. Last night was the first one I did with the new format, meaning I'm mingling, table to table, doing magic, but we also have variety acts, burlesque girls and singers and tap dancers performing on a stage formally throughout the night. And I'm in charge of booking them and running the show and emceeing it now. So it went from this little thing to this big thing in one night. So, yeah, that's on. That was last night. And if you follow my Instagram, Cardone Magic, which I recommend, because if this ever dies out, this channel, I'll be on there doing live. Yeah, there's pictures and video you can see. I had Serena, who's a professional. Here comes the yawn. Whew. The professional, yes, Amanda, resourceful, exactly. You got to. I can't, tonight's, I'm a little like, because I'm thinking ahead of the show here too, because there's a lot to talk about. So anywho, yeah, I'm getting busy. The show's rolling. If you want to see the show, you got to make a reservation now. It's going to get busy. A lot of you know I give prizes away. Somebody named Rick Sherman, who's my friend, he actually won, or he redeemed his points for the mystery box. So Rick, you're getting a mystery box. Somebody here's also getting a poster mailed out from last week. And tonight, I'm going to give away an Opulence shirt. And whoever it is, I need you, well, in a second, I'm going to give you the number to write in the chat box. But yeah, it's going to be an Opulence t-shirt. And if you are in the chat right now, and you're at the chat at the end of the show, I roll the dice, and we pull the number, and you win. Chris says, my Instagram makes him crave avocado toast on a regular basis. Let me talk a little bit about avocado toast. First of all, it shouldn't cost $14. Second, I needed to lower my cholesterol. I do like junk food. And I started eating avocados on a regular basis, and it works. Yeah. It lowered my cholesterol. So it's great. All right, Peter. Yeah, if you want it, yeah, you have good luck at winning. So let's see. I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then I'll announce the number. You should make a reservation, Dan, if you want to eat at Wits. Yeah, it's starting to get jammed. Now, right now, last night, I did the formal show with the burlesque dancers indoors. Soon it will be moved to the outdoor space just because it's going to be better and it's going to be hot out. Yeah, so that's happening. What else? Yeah, there's a guy that's going to be putting out an Opulence, our record, on tape. That's new. Yeah, fish oil too. Dude, omega-3, I'm on it, Peter. It really works. Yeah, I do that, and I do Boswellia, which is frankincense. Let me check. I have to keep track. I have an Airbnb showing up. It's literally, it went from winter to summer at Rockaway Beach. It's tomorrow. There's going to be no parking. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be 90 degrees. There's actually surfing waves tomorrow. And tomorrow might be big and dumpy and not good. Sunday looks really good. It said there's 4 to 5 foot waves. That's what I like. I don't like the 7 to 8 to 10 foot dumping waves. I like a nice big fat wave that just peels. I get in the shoulder. I'm in. I don't get crushed. When they start to get hollow, meaning the kind that you get in the barrel, boom! I don't like the pounding anymore. And I've been pounded. I've been picked up and thrown into the sand many times. Yeah, I like the gentle rides now. I got back and shoulder problems, so when I paddle, yeah, the summer came quick like that. I'm sure Coney Island's going to be busy. It's going to be a cool summer. People were cooped up for a year. And now that everybody's got the vaccine and they're ready to roll, I mean, come on. That's it. Let's go. Yeah, let's get into this stupid subject in a second. But right now, write in the chat for Opulence Let's see. What's a good number tonight? I usually either do 666 or 616 for Nero. What would be a good number for tonight? Maybe 135? Maybe? Should I do 138? Let me do... I got it. It's supposed to be 90 degrees tomorrow. Right now in the chat, right, 90. 90, and you're in the drawing. And I'll do it again at the end. Also, if you're new to the chat and you want to play the In Point Gaming, look in the description. Watch all the people playing. You will see people nonstop writing crazy... They're going to be gambling their chat points. And it's going to be cool. You'll see. Yep, there it is. Mant Lyons in the house. There it goes. 90 degrees tomorrow, New York City. Okay. What? Oh, yeah, here we go. Love it. Mant Lion, Ash, Chris. Yep, people are... This is great. Thank you. What else was I going to say? I had something else to say before we get into the UFO thing. All right. Who wants the shirt? Put 90 and stick around, watch the show, and at the end, I'll roll a dice. Let me get some dice out here, too. My dice. Let's talk about the show tonight. Look at this. Death rays, UFOs, and happiness. Well, do I need to explain the UFO phenomena? Here's what I have to say about... Well, let me get to my notes. I have the actual dates all written down here. 2000 and... What year was it? Was it 2016? Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was about 4 years ago. It was in the winter. I remember it. And it was on the news. Pentagon admits there's some UFO stuff. It was in every major newspaper. Every major news channel did a little blurb. And, there you go. And every major show did a blurb. And every single person that I mentioned it to didn't know about it. And I would say to them, you didn't see the new UFO? The government admitted there's UFOs. And they'd be like, no, what? I'm like, how is this not front page major headline? And my buddy's like, oh man, everybody already knew that. And I'm like, no, dummy. They're admitting it. Why are they admitting it? So, I mean, my mind was blown 4 years ago. And anybody I met that was a UFO buff was like, yeah, why? I mean, even Tucker Carlson, who, he's on Fox News. Even he was like, why isn't this a major headline? I don't get it. So I was kind of shocked at, it didn't get the attention it deserved. Why is it not potentially the biggest news story of our humanity? No joke, folks. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So, hey, somebody just tipped me. Grazie. That's nice. Mant Lion, you rule. Thank you. Anybody watching, those donations really do mean a lot. I do this full time now, so thank you. And I'm not even monetized. Thank you. So there's the UFOs. Fast forward to a few months ago. So for the last 3-4 years, there's been little things here, little things there. Jeremy Corbell did the documentary on Bob Lazar, which I didn't like at all. I think it's a bad movie, and I think it almost... It does... I'm not going to say it incriminates them to fraud. It looks a little weird. It looks like they exaggerated on some things to make a better movie, and it makes it look like Bob Lazar is not telling the truth. I was a believer in the Bob Lazar story. And for those of you that don't know, he's a guy that said in the early 90s, he worked for... not Area 51, but a base near it, and he worked on UFOs. He was hired to reverse engineer literally a flying saucer. And his story is so detailed and well done, people believe the guy. And some of the details that he mentioned not only came true, but there's some weird stuff. And I'm going to talk about it quickly. One of the things that he said, Bob Lazar, and this isn't the documentary that just came out. This is just the Bob Lazar story, and you can look this up. But he said that when the crafts operate, they jitter. They go like this when they're at slow speeds. They can't stay still. And then when they're going for real, they're smooth. They just fly and they can turn and move like this. Yes, he did. The Blink-182 guy did do that. The people, the USS Nimitz, the aircraft carrier where the pilot encountered a UFO and the Pentagon said, yeah, that's real. He said that he's flying and there's this tic-tac looking thing jittering above the water. And then it soars up and starts to fly around and do its thing. And there was another one underwater. People forget that detail. And the original report that came out 4 years ago that was in all the papers mentioned they had materials. That's a detail that people forget about. It actually says there's materials too. For some reason, that detail got left out, and I did some more research in the last few days, and I didn't see anything on it. So it's almost like they let it out, and then they said, let's not keep talking about the materials. Now, so that little jittery story matches the new stuff. It's kind of a neat detail. Now, the part in the movie that I thought was baloney is Bob Lazar said there's this element that is used in the saucers. And lo and behold, they found the element. Well, in the movie, it looks like this amazing thing, and the FBI raids his business, which is, he has a little chemistry set business. They make it out to be like he's a chemist. It looks like he sells chemistry sets to kids. That's what it looks like. He sells chemical supplies, but it's nothing serious. It's to the general public. It's not for real scientists necessarily. So, this element, I don't know what it's called. It's called like element, and it has a number. I saw this guy, he's like, look, all he did was, like, let's say there's, I don't know how many elements there are on the periodic table right now, but let's say there's 100. Bob Lazar's like, they use element 101. That's just the next one. So when they found a new one, it was numbered 101. It's like, hey, it's real. It's like, no, it's not. It's the next consecutive number, ding dong. That was weird. And when the FBI raided his place, they made it seem like in the movie they were raiding it for that reason, and that's not what it was. The other thing in the movie that's weird is he said when he went to the base to work for the UFOs, there's a hand scanner. And Jeremy Corbell's like, I found a picture of it. And he shows it to him, and he's like, yay, that's it, and it's a big deal. Well, it's the hand scanner that's in Close Encounters. They've been around. It's not a big deal. So they made some mountains out of some molehills in the film, and to me it discredits the story. It's like it looks cheap. Just tell the facts. You don't need to exaggerate. So this Jeremy Corbell guy, he is the guy that's being interviewed as the UFO expert on every news channel. And that to me is a little weird. I've been seeing a lot of him. He seems like he means well, but he also seems like a showman. And this is a showman talking about a showman. He seems like he's got a wink in there too. Now, what I think happened with the Bob Lazar story, after studying some behavioral body language stuff and him, I don't think he's being fully honest, Bob Lazar. I think he is lying. But that doesn't mean what he's saying isn't true. I think he might have had a job and he met somebody that knew some weird details and they leaked it out to him, and that's what he's leaking to us. And some of it is accurate. That's my personal opinion. I'm not an expert on any of this, but from my, I'm going to say thousands of hours of research on this, that's what my belief is. He's got some legit things to say, but he's being dishonest in how he divulges them. And He's been telling the story so long now, he doesn't want to change it, even if it's the more factual version, because it'll discredit him. That's my personal opinion. So now we have on the news, every day now, people talking about UFOs. It's all over. 60 Minutes did a special. The pilot that I mentioned that saw the Tic Tac, not only was he on, the other pilot was on. It's this lady, I don't have her name here. Another pilot. I didn't know that about her. So she's now saying, hey, this is weird. The government's saying, yep, we don't know what they are. And my question is, why are they talking about it now? And I found some really cool info I'm going to bring up on the show. As for death rays, we'll get to that. It's another news story that I don't think is being taken as seriously. I think, I don't want to get to that yet. We'll get to the death ray because it's in the news. So let's go to this. The UFO story. 60 Minutes did a special. Obama was on TV the other day talking about it. He literally was like, well, here's what I have to say. There's an unknown flying object. We don't know what it is, and it's behaving in manners we don't understand. That's coming from President Obama. Biden hasn't commented, and Trump, I do think he said it a little bit. In the COVID relief bill, there's a little clause about revealing some stuff too, which we'll talk about. David Fravors, the pilot that talks about the Tic Tac. He's very vocal. I've watched a billion interviews. I've been studying his body language, his eyes, his movement. I think he's telling the truth. I don't think he's making this up. Lou Alessandro, he's the guy that works for the DOD. He, in the 60 Minutes show, is like, okay, they pull a 600 G-force. They go 13,000 miles an hour. They travel in the air, in the water, and they're pretty sure they go to outer space too because they go so high. You can't see what the propulsion is. There's no visible means of gadgetry on the crafts. The way they describe... and there's many different ones. It's not one kind. One's a Tic Tac with little nubbies on the bottom, like landing gear maybe. One of them looks like a weird bat wing. One of them, and this is where it gets whoa, is a sphere in a translucent cube flying. What the heck is that? One of them, they said, transforms. I mean, I've heard every story. And unknown by science how these things are moving. And this is coming from Lou Alessandro, who worked for the DOD. He's like, look, here's what the facts are. Also, these things are being measured by multiple things. Radar, heat reading, thermals, everything. Eyesight, iPhone, everything. We have many ways to observe. It's not just one. It's just not testimonial. Now, a lot of people think that this is just a bluff. It's a way of... One concept might be they're talking about it to scare other people. Like, look what we got going. The military doesn't really brag about how weak they are. And in these discussions... they're kind of saying, hey, man, we don't know. I personally think they're crowdsourcing right now. They really don't know. If these things are flying around our airspace and we can't do anything about it, that means we're vulnerable to whatever it is. We're weaker than them. One of the other things that's crazy, I mean, this whole thing is like, I'm a little like, I got to pinch myself that I'm actually discussing this with publicly. So there are people that think it's some sort of bluff. I don't think so. It might be a way to raise money for the military, the Space Force, or whatever they're doing. So here's what I found out of how this started. In 2007, Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid from Nevada, met with Robert Bigelow, who is one of the owners of the Skinwalker Ranch, where there's a lot of sightings. And I guess Harry Reid's a UFO fan. a lot of people don't know Jackie Gleason was a UFO fanatic too, and supposedly Nixon took him to see some weird stuff. It's in the biography of Jackie Gleason written by his wife. So Harry Reid meets Robert Bigelow. They discuss the Skinwalker Ranch. He contacts Senator Ted Stevens from Alaska, and who was a pilot. Supposedly Ted Stevens saw a UFO when he was younger, and they got Senator Daniel Inouye from Hawaii involved, and they wrote up a $22 million bill to study this. Now, okay, there's someone saying, yeah, I'm skeptical about it just looking at NASA's funding. Right, there's a funding thing, right? So when these guys, Harry Reid, started poking around, from what I heard, the Pentagon weren't into it. They were like, go away. This isn't for you. And then they started pushing and pushing and pushing, and now they hired Lou Alessandro. They made this group that's called ATIP, and they were hired to do the research, this group. The Pentagon pushed back. They changed the name to UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, to kind of pull it away from the UFO thing. I mean, UFO is a word to me like God. It's loaded. If you say UFO, people think of little green men. You don't want to create a major panic. Yeah, unidentified plane or copter from another country. I'm gonna go right into that right now. Dan P said it could be an unidentifiable plane or copter from another country. They don't want to create major panic. If it's from another country, let's say China sent over here some weird drone, there is no way that they're going to go, hey, folks, there's this weird thing we don't know about. It puts us on the weak note. There's no way, unless it really is shocking. Everybody I know that has seen a UFO said the first thing that happens is you feel afraid. Because it's not like, oh, look at those weird blinking lights. God, is that a plane? What is that? What? Right? That's not usually what happens. The ones that I know that have met, that have seen them, literally say they see this thing moving around in the sky that's so unnatural, it makes you feel terrified because it's something you've never seen. Supposedly when the people in South America saw the ships coming from Spain, they didn't even see them really because they didn't know what it was. It's almost like their brain blocked it out. I'm doing a little research right now on how words dictate how we visualize things. Like how the color blue didn't exist until we had a word for it. I'm going to do a show on it. It's kind of mind-blowing. So, I don't think these come from another country. I don't think they would be talking about it the way they do. Now, stop and think about this. What would happen if Biden right now got on TV and was like, folks, all right, here we go. I'm going to make this easy. Yes, there's unidentified flying objects. You've all seen the videos, the 60 Minutes show. Folks, they're real. And we know where they're from. We're not alone. Right? Let's just say that happens. Everything we know of will change. Everything. Everything on Earth will change. The way everything, down to the design of cars, to how we dress, to style, to fashion, to cinema, to art, to poetry. It literally will be the ground zero for the new thing, which is we're not alone. There's this other. And I don't know. One more thing I forgot to mention that these UFO shows aren't mentioning. There's been many times where there's a UFO at a nuclear base and the power goes out. Look that up. It's kind of nuts. So let's just talk quickly about some possibilities because this could be so outside of what we understand as normal. There's no point in discussing this. Okay, 1. Project Bluebeam. What's Project Bluebeam? I don't know that. Tell me, Talon. They could be from an alien planet, from another solar system, and they're just here. They could also be, Hold on. Oh. They could also be drones sent from another planet, unmanned. They could be from another universe, an alien. And they could be from another universe, drones. They could also be time travelers. They could be humans from the future coming here to observe. They could be dimensional beings. And they could also be domestic. There could be things living here right now we don't know about. Here's a question. Using our modern technology, would it be possible for the CIA to send some spies to hang out really close to a native population in the Amazon, and the native population would not be able to recognize their existence using technology that we have today? What do you think about that? I'm asking a question to the crowd tonight. Do you think we could hide from a native group that's very observant to the jungle? They hunt, they fish, they farm in the jungle. They know the differences. Could we put some sort of thing in the tree that they would never know about? And we could sit there and observe them and they would never know. Is it possible? Is it possible to ultra-terrestrials? I like that term. They could be from, okay, the other thing is they come out of the water. They see a lot of them in and out of the water. Maybe there's another group of people that live under the water we don't know about. Atlantis. Highly advanced civilization that's been right under our noses the whole time. Why is that not impossible? I always like to go for, the obvious. Maybe they're terrestrial. I do not think it's China. I don't think it's Russia. I don't think it's another country's technology. We don't know what it is. Now, one thing might be, and this is a thought I had recently, all the other countries have been talking about UFOs publicly, governmentally, before we did. A lot of South American governments were mentioning it. Europe. Why did we not? Maybe we know more than they do. Maybe we have stuff. And like I said, the early reports mentioned materials. Maybe that's going to be the big news we find out. Well, in a month, we're going to know. They're supposedly going to unleash some stuff. A lot of people think we're not going to get a lot of info. Some people think we are. I can't say. Probably not. I do think we're not ready to handle the other. I don't. I think people will go, as they say, ape shit. Really. I really think so. Think about what crazy religious people are going to do. How did religious people interpret when they found dinosaur bones? They thought that they were put there by the devil to confuse us, to test our faith. What are they going to say about aliens? What if these aliens, or whatever they are not here to harm us? How are they going to be interpreted? I don't know. I think the difference in how we have evolved with technology would be a disadvantage. It would be hard for a person to blend in with a tribe. Okay, let's chew that up. Let's go through that. Well, what kind of, do we have cloaking? I mean, we have really good camouflage clothing. We have ghillie suits and camo. Do we have electronic camo yet? I think we do. A detailed report on the materials would be cool. Do we have crashed ones? Maybe we found a crashed one years ago. Maybe we only have one. I don't know. We're just guessing now. Alien dimensional? Yeah. Let's talk about this now. Because maybe this is tied to it. This is why I put this in the episode. When I hear the word death ray, I think of Martian what's his name from Looney Tunes? Marvin the Martian. You know, when he's got the little ray gun. Well, the idea of a death ray has been around for a while. Tesla. Dan P says, dude, people would go bananas. You think arms sales went through the roof last? Yeah, I agree, man. I think if they say there's real aliens, it's going to get nuts, which is why they've been keeping their mouths shut. Well, the death ray. It all started with me with what's called the Havana syndrome. Not that long ago, Havana, Cuba, a bunch of diplomats were in a building, and they all got sick. No one knows why. They had some brain damage, and they thought someone shot a microwave gun at them. Now, I've been looking this up for a while. Our government has a weapon. I believe the Navy has it on a few boats already, where if there's a drone, they aim it, and the beam makes it catch on fire and go. Oh, here we go. Wow. Oh, wow. Talon, this is amazing. Project Bluebeam. This is Talon writing in the chat. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory about governments using lasers and holograms to deceive the public. There's a few different theories. One is a faked coming back of Christ. Wow, that's a great idea for a movie. The government actually recreates the Messiah's return using technology. Wow. Oh my God. If you're a screenwriter, start writing. That's a cool idea. It's like Wizard of Oz stuff. I mean, that's what it is. I'm interested. Well, this gun, this laser gun, I don't know what to say. It causes, well, the one that's the Havana syndrome, vertigo, brain injuries, permanent damage. People hear a noise. It's like like this weird noise, and then they feel sick. Memory loss, balance control is gone. I mean, that is not good. Now, there's a company called Epirus. They're a tech firm. And they're the ones that invented the microwave to take down drones. Is there a small version you can put in a car? Well, the other day, 135 people were affected by it at the White House. At the White House, folks. What is going on? My mother lives in D.C. I called her. I said, Mom, you're watching. I mean, she lives near this stuff. Dude, there's a guy in her neighborhood. There's a dude in a truck with a giant microwave gun aiming it at government buildings. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Now, the speculation is it's Russia. I guess we know that Russia has this technology. I'm guessing we also have it. I don't know. Anybody have thoughts on this? I don't think it's the same thing as the alien, but it does sound like the stuff Tesla was working on. Tesla, it's funny. Why do we not have a movie about his life? The guy was like a superhero, mastermind, genius, inventor. Not a lot of info on him publicly. Now, after Tesla died, 2 days later, the government raided his house and took everything. He basically invented so much that we'll never know about. And one of them was his notes on the death ray. Batman Begins. Yeah. Well, okay, so the hallucination ones could be audio. That's what's interesting. It could be an audio weapon, which we have. The one that they say makes you hit the brown note, you shoot the beam and it makes you crap your pants. It's more like 8 megahertz causes the feeling of impending doom. It could be that. What if you mix that with a microwave and you shoot it all in one lump? Now you have someone who feels like they're going to die. They crap their pants. They're dizzy. And they get brain damage all in one zap. That's pretty brutal. That's some cruel and inhumane punishment. Yes. So Sherman just brought something up. Tesla lost his funding when he began research on free energy. Anybody ever see the movie The Prestige? Tesla's in it as a character played by David Bowie very well. And there's a scene where he walks out in his lawn and there's light bulbs all over it. and they light up. Well, supposedly he had that technology 100 years ago. An energy that you beam, and your radio, you don't have to plug it in. It's got an antenna, and it just picks it up and plays. He had that. They didn't want anybody to see that. Too easy to make it free. Maybe Tesla had contact with aliens. Who knows? I do know that this fascinates me. And I can't believe it's not more of a bigger story. One of the reasons why I think a lot of these are making the news now is last year, the news cycle made a lot of money. Mr. Trump was good for advertising the news. Anytime there's something bad going on, people want to watch the news, and Trump made the numbers go up. Now, I saw a little thing where Rachel Maddow's TV show was 98% about Russiagate and Russia and the Trump thing. 98%. As soon as it came out that there wasn't much info on it, there was a paper that the Democrats paid for, unfortunately, made them look bad, to ramble up some dirt on Trump. The operative that they hired to come up with this dirt on Trump made it up. And he gave it to them and they published it. So when that came out, her ratings dropped. It's all about the ratings. They need the money. So maybe the UFO story's now starting to sell tickets to the show because the news isn't that exciting. Of course, the Israel thing now is in the news. That's a big deal. So it could be that. It could be just they're rambling it up. Now, I don't know if you noticed this. This is something on my own research. Why does the pharmaceutical companies, why do they advertise on the news? Do we really need to know about Cialis and all these weird drugs? My doctor tells me about them. Do I need to see it on the news too? So when I go to my doctor and he's like, oh, hey, your skin's itchy. There's this new drug called Gaplopin. I'm just making that up. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, Gaplopin. I saw it on the news as a commercial. That's not how it works. It's weird that the pharmaceutical industry buys giant chunks of ad space on news channels. What if the oil industry was really doing bad things and they decided to buy a bunch of ads on the news? Do we really need oil advertised to us? Like, only buy mobile gas. You don't need that. You get the gas that you get, you know? But that's kind of what it looks like. Hey, what's up? Happy Friday, Cassandra. Yeah, Batman Begins is the one with the scarecrow, I believe, right? And he's got the hallucination gas. And he also has the weapon, the energy beam weapon. Yeah, it's real. Folks, that crazy future that we never saw as kids, that we dreamed about seeing, it's kind of starting to happen now. I've lived long enough that it's like, wow, we don't have flying cars, but we have all this other crap going on. I'm impressed. I'm sure my audience is equally impressed with the UFO stuff. My crowd that's in here, we like ghost stories. We like monster movies. We like UFOs and all the weird stuff. That's why my show, the tagline's like, let's get weird. This is weird. Really weird. I mean, you watch the news now and they're literally openly talking about flying saucers. I'm impressed. I have a lot of questions, as you do too. And we might not get the answers we're looking for, but we're already getting a little bit here and there. That's cool. I don't know. I do know that, what does it mean for me? I was talking to my dad about this, and he's like, it doesn't affect me. What are you worried about? And I'm like, it's not that I'm worried. I just like to know what's going on so I can position myself. That's it. So I can say, hey, I'm going to be over here, and I'm going to let it affect me or not. Like, it's up to me, but I can position myself and choose what to do, as opposed to not paying attention. The whole concept of I'm not in control of any of this, true. I am in control of my thoughts about it, my framing of it, and my attitude. We need the glasses Rowdy Piper wears in They Live. They put the glasses on and you can see who the aliens are. You're like, oh, there he is. We might need them. So I was reading Seneca 2 or 3 days ago, and he wrote a really great letter mentioning the idea of disasters. There's a city that burned to the ground, and he does some reflecting on it. And I was just going to bring it up because, to me, it fits into this a bit. I mean, Plan 9 is a reality. Are these glasses busted? Do you know how many pairs of these reading glasses I have in my house now? They're just everywhere. What did he say, Seneca, that blew my mind? There's so much in here. Oh, I love this quote. All the works of mortal man have been doomed to mortality, and amidst of things which have been destined to die, we live. That quote to me means a lot. It literally, it's the slap in the face that I like to do to myself daily. I try to remind myself and people I know that, what is it, like 99.9% of every living thing that has ever existed is extinct. Think about that, folks. That means everything in the world right now that's alive, all the animals, us, monkeys, lizards, 99% of them will be extinct. That's why people, I don't get why they freak out. Yeah, I don't want any animal to go extinct, but if there's no habitat for them, then unless you're into the zoo, what are you going to do? That's it. They're gone. I hate to say it. I love tigers. There's no habitat for them. You want Tiger King? You want the zoo? Or should they just be extinct? I don't have an answer. It's a reality. Same with us. Everybody's like, save us, save the earth, save the earth. It's like, yes, I want to save the earth as much as I can. It's where me and my children are going to live. But eventually we're all gone. Even if we do the best job we could ever do, eventually the sun gets big and swallows it all up. The sun dies. It starts over. So amongst this world of everything that's doomed, right now, I'm alive. So are you. And we can talk about it, and we can, as I always say, we're dust that gets to realize we're dust for a couple of seconds. That's what he's saying there. He's like, oh my God, we're in this midst of this dead, dying world. We're alive. And we have to respect that. The other thing he says, fortune. When he says fortune in these books, he's talking about luck. Has the same jurisdiction over empires as over emperors, the same power over cities as over the citizens who dwell in them. So the bad luck that we might get in our lives with sickness, it happens to the city too. Natural disasters and whatnots. Out of your control, folks. Meanwhile, this is kind of neat. I love this quote. This one woke me up. We are unequal at birth, but equal in death. Big quote for me. That's Anton LaVey used to talk about that all the time. I mean, unequal at birth. I mean, somebody's born in one country as opposed to another. They have a completely different set. That's just luck. They're going to have a different setup. What if someone's born without legs in a poor country? Someone's born in a rich country with, like, literally at birth, one guy's got an advantage over the other. Clear as day. In death, we really are all equal. And Anton LaVey once said, but that's not always true because some people look better dead than others, which I thought was a funny little way to go the extra little jab at it, which is true. But that's a value system based on certain things. But in reality, when we're all gone, we're all on the same page. When you're born and alive, you know, how many people get to play basketball professionally? Why? They can't jump. It's not happening. They don't have the ability. It's just funny because the word equal has What does that even mean? Equal? I don't even know. What does it mean? Equal what? It's a big, complicated word. But death, yeah, we can all agree on that. When you're dead, we're all the same. All that money that this guy had, all the money that guy didn't have, when they're both dead, they're on the same page. I just love that Seneca's writing that stuff that I've been thinking about my whole life. And then the next one right after that was his famous essay called On the Happy Life. It's not an essay, it's a letter he was writing to his friend. Here we go. Listen to this. The happy life depends on this and this alone. Our attainment for perfect reason. He's talking about to be happy. The only way to get there is through perfect reason. That man here, and that alone is good, which is never subject to the impairment. That man, I declare, is happy, whom nothing makes less strong than he is. He keeps to the heights, leaning upon none but himself, for one who sustains himself by any prop may fall. Yeah, as soon as you start using a prop for your happiness, get ready for the fall. It's happening, because that's out of your power. And things that are out of your power are doomed to fall apart eventually. That's why this UFO thing's interesting. Because why are we so concerned about it? I think the UFO phenomena is a little bit like the Bigfoot phenomena. Is it reflects who we are and where we've put ourselves in the world. For instance, Bigfoot, to me, the reason why people see Bigfoot, well, first of all, bears that walk on two legs in the woods look like a person. But it's almost like we know we came from the wild, and we have this like memory of it, and we project it. Just like UFOs, we know there's something above us all. There's another, and we project. And that's why I always thought maybe UFOs weren't real. We're just projecting it. But now, it's not true. Now, there's something out there. A lot of it. It's not like there's one UFO sighting a year. They're talking about they see 10, 20 a day. Now that they're talking about it, it makes me say, whoa, who am I? Do I really need to know this stuff? I don't know. Tonight's the episode of questions. All it does is make me question more and more and more. And studying philosophy, that's good. But at the end of the day, what does this mean to me? What do I gain anything from this? Not really. My ego is fluffed a bit by knowing that I learned something forbidden for years, maybe. But I don't know. My curiosity is on fire right now, as many of you are. And I want to know what's going on. You have any thoughts? Because I don't. I mean, I have some thoughts on it, as you heard, but I can't really point to any one piece of evidence that goes, this is where it looks like it's going. I really thought for a minute it might be a bunch of baloney to raise money. I don't think so anymore. I think they're crowdsourcing. I think they are scared too. Imagine you're the military commander and your pilot's like, dude, there's things flying around. We don't know what they are. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean we don't know what they are? Also, a lot of them make the radar go off. Technically, that's an act of war. If you're flying an airplane and there's a Russian drone that goes by and it goes beep and it makes my radar go off, that's not cool. Well, that's what these things are doing. Who are they? I don't know. Hey, Eric just got a mystery box. Excellent. I'm guessing in the chat you put your address. All right. That's 2 mystery boxes going out. I love it. Folks, this show is fun. I like being Santa Claus a bit on here and whipping up these fun little packages to send out. I like it. So, yeah, keep coming in here and doing it. I mean, it's Friday night. I am not going to sit here and keep talking about this. I want you all to go look it up now. Friday night is I'm starting a 2-day weekend of sun and fun. The beach is going to be busy. There's going to be so much foot traffic in front of my house that it's obscene. The beach is going to be busy. The ocean's going to be filled with surfers. The restaurants out here are going to be full. The boardwalk's opening with the venues, the vendors soon. I'm excited. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to say if you're new in this show, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get up there. I am slowly inching up to 1,000. Once I get to 1,000, oh yeah, we're almost at 750. So if you're in here and you're new, hit that subscribe. When I get monetized, this whole thing changes. Right now, this channel's living off of donations. Yes, the donations mean something. They're not frivolous. They do help pay for the show, and I've had some very generous donors here. I've had Amanda. She gave me a nice, and William and Mantline. Everybody's donating. This is great. It helps pay for the show. My Streamlabs, listen to my accent. What am I, from Long Island? My Streamlabs cost money. I mean, I have to pay $25 a month. I mean, I have fees for all this stuff. So it helps. Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Good, clean waves are coming, bro. I think we're going to get them on Sunday. Dude, 2 days ago, I had clean waves. Nice, clean peelers. A little crowded. Not too crowded in the lineup, but it's coming. Guys and gals and everybody else, it's time for me to go tonight. I got a million things I want to do, and I want you all to look up the UFO stuff. It's mind-blowing. There's a lot to peel through because a lot of these reports are the same thing over and over. Same story, same thing, but I'm always listening for new details to be plugged in. And the one that I'm interested in are the materials. You'll see it mentioned, but not much. My bot thanks you, Zalthon. He's it's my bot. That's my moderator. And I thank you. I got a cool crowd in here. A thoughtful, smart, intelligent crowd that cares about weird stuff like I do. And I love entertaining you guys. And that's it. I mean, oh my God, I started writing down what next week's about. Next week, I have some kind of esoteric brain episodes more. I'm doing research on us seeing differently depending on our jargon that we use. Our words change how we see things. And maybe that ties into this UFO thing. Maybe they've been there the whole time. We just didn't know how to talk about it. And therefore, we actually physically don't see them. They blend in somehow. One way to look at it is the color blue. When I leave here, look up blue and people not being able to see it until recently. You're going to be like, huh? Yeah, has to do with our words. Yes, Zalthon is the man. And, folks, happy Friday. Keep it real. Make things with your hands. Be nice to your friends and family. And party on. I'm going to now do the rolling. Right now, anybody that put 90 in the kitty, I'm going to roll a dice. Let me first get out my dice. I did not prepare a dice tray for tonight. And I'm curious if one of these guys that keeps winning wins again. All right. Here we go. Let's see which dice I'm going to use. You know what? I think I'm going to use... Come on. I'm going to roll a D12, if I can find one without my glasses. Why are there no D12s here? I love it. When you have too many dice, you can't find any of them. All right, here's a D12. Uh-oh, Rick Sherman just joined in. All right, here we go. I'm rolling a D12, folks. Let me clean up this table. I've got notes all over this table, so let me move those off. And somebody tonight is going to win and Opulence t-shirt. All right, let me move this here. Oh, are you kidding? Oh, here it is. I was going to say, did I just put my dice away? I'm a little tired today. I'm going to be honest. Right before I came on here, I was performing for a graduation party. And sometimes they drain me. Sometimes when I do a short show, I'm like, ugh. Well, the dice is for the drawing. Cassandra, would you like to enter the drawing? If you do, I got to change the dice out. Let me know, Cassandra. I will pull a different die. Maybe I'll roll a... I'll do the D14. Yeah, let me see. There's the D10. There's the D12. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm going to roll the dice. Someone's going to wear a t-shirt. Oh, okay, maybe you're already in here. All right, I'm rolling it. Here it goes. Let me switch cameras. On a count of 3. Let's see who it is. I can't wait to see who wins this because somebody keeps winning these. All right, here it goes. Oops, let me roll it over here. 5. Hey, Corey Cooper. Corey Cooper, where are you, Corey Cooper? Corey Cooper just won an Opulence t-shirt. So Corey Cooper, this is what I need you to do. I hope I have every size in stock. I don't know if I have every size. Corey Cooper, send me an Instagram with your info and just put Opulence t-shirt size and I'll get it out. Yeah. I'm going to mail this stuff out on Monday or Tuesday. I have 4 packages going out. And I like it. I feel great when I go into there to mail the stuff. I feel like Santa Claus. Wow. Corey, congrats. You got it. There's the shirt or whatever size you need. Message me on Instagram, Cardone Magic, and just say, hey, what's up? Wow. What a show, folks. UFOs, death rays, and let's talk about being happy, you know? Like, I don't think happiness is obtainable. I think it's the result of other things plugged in. If your goal is to be happy, most likely your goal is to not be happy. It's not to be in pain and discomfort. And happiness comes from doing your thing. If you're doing your thing, you might become happy. Yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm going to bounce out as the credits are rolling. Play your games, check your points, and I'll see you Monday. Yeah, Monday night, right here. Cardone Entertainment, episode 67. And I'm going to party this weekend. I had a busy, busy week. I got many busy weeks ahead, and I really do need the weekend. So guess what? I'm out of here. Party on, Wayne.